On May 23, 1967, Dalry Mapp's residence was searched illegally without her consent. Mapp was convicted of possessing obscene materials after an illegal police search of her home on suspicion she was harboring a fugitive.
At the scene, officers demanded entry, but Mapp denied without being showed a warrant. Her door was then opened forcefully, and officers entered without permission. Also, Mapp's attorney was denied the ability to see her client at the scene.
The key issue of this case is whether or not the evidence found inside of Mapp's residence was to be allowed in court. After much fighting with the state of Ohio, Mapp appealed to have her case pled to the Supreme Court. The question at stake here is whether Mapp should be charged for violating Ohio state legislation against obscene materials, or whether the state was in the wrong.
While the state of Ohio was arguing that no matter the Fourth Amendment, Mapp had illegally paraphernalia, and therefore she could be convicted. Mapp and her attorney argued that the Fourth Amendment protects citizens from all illegal searches and seizures without procured warrant at the scene. The case was primarily based around these arguments, and then a verdict was decided by the Supreme Court, 6-3 in favor of Dalry Mapp.
The reasoning used to justify the majority opinion, authored by Justice Tom C. Clark, was based on the use of the exclusionary rule in state court proceedings, stating that no evidence found on scene that is illegally obtained shall be allowed to be used in court.
The author of the dissenting opinion, Justice John Marshall Harn, argued that the court was overreaching by extending the exclusionary rule to the states.
The Supreme Court applied the exclusionary rule to the states through the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. The exclusionary rule dictates that evidence obtained through unconstitutional searches and seizures is inadmissible in court. The court's ruling in Mapp V Ohio reinforced the principle that the Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures apply to state criminal proceedings.
The lasting impact that this case had was that it instantly put into place the exclusionary rule, which prevents the state courts from using most evidence that was gathered in violation of the Constitution.